From historic Doyle Field in Leominster, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome back Diamondside. High school baseball for you in the 2023 season, reaching about the halfway point. Major League Baseball has their all-star break. Meanwhile, here in the world of high school baseball, it's the world of postseason numbers. That's what we start to take a look at this juncture in the season. And tonight we have got a dandy for you, a rematch of an exciting game from 2022 as a 9-1 Leominster Blue Devils get set to play host to a 9-3 Chelmsford Lions squad. We're looking forward to action coming up here. First pitch was scheduled for 6 o'clock, and yes, that was low about 7 or so minutes ago. A delay in the action as they wait for umpires here at Doyle Field. They are on site. We have seen them. They are here. They are out changing, and they will be in. And once they are ready, the teams are staying loose. We'll be ready for introductions, national anthem, and first pitch here at Doyle Field, expected roughly about 15 minutes late of the original posted 6 o'clock time. So we're expecting about a 6:15 to 6:20 first pitch for this action tonight. But meanwhile, it's Leominster and Chelmsford for you. This game last year, as we said, it was an exciting one. Chelmsford beat Leominster 5-0 was the final score here at Doyle Field, but it was scoreless through 5 innings. Chelmsford got 1 run off Angel Baez in the 6th that chased him to the showers. They added 4 more runs off the relief pitching in the 7th and got a 5-0 win here at Doyle Field on the road. That was last year's matchup, but through those 5 innings, completely scoreless. Both teams showcasing the defense and exciting pitching. We're expecting to see that again here tonight. And again, 1 run could make all the difference in this one. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for RFM tonight, and great to have you along with us for some more baseball action here in 2023. I welcome in Bill Thomas. And Billy, here we go. It's been exactly 1 month since the last time we were here calling opening day of baseball. It was back on April the 8th when Leominster picked up a 2-1 win in 12 innings over Central Catholic to kick off the season. It was exciting. It got everybody launched, and it launched this Blue Devil team on an 8-game winning streak just snapped last week against Algonquin here at home on Wednesday, May the 3rd. It was a 1-0 loss in a rain-shortened 5-inning affair. And it's a good thing it was rain-shortened, Bill Thomas, because in the top of the 6th inning, Leominster surrendered 7 runs before they stopped the game at that point in time. So it goes back to the last completed inning. 1-0, of course, but at that point, it wasn't that Leominster all of a sudden forgot. It was the wet ball, and things are flying around, and runners are going around the bases, and you know how things go from there. So the 1-0, really the legitimate through 5 innings in that one. But that's Leominster's loss. Most recent game, a win against Shepherd Hill 4-3 on Friday, immediately bouncing back coming into this one. 9-1. Really good start to this season at the halfway point for Leominster.
Yeah, and you talk about bouncing back. And it's great to see that, in a tough loss in the rain. And, like you say, it goes down as a 1-0, but they gave up some runs. But the conditions were horrible, and they were horrible all week. I mean, any teams they had to play. It seems like it's been forever, but, that big 2-1 extra inning game that we saw, the opening game of the season that we did, and Leominster just has been on a roll, but I don't think it's unexpected. Everybody thought that they were going to be strong. They came back with a lot of strong pitching. I think they lost 1 starting pitcher last year, and we knew what Angel Baez and, that crew was going to bring as veterans returning, even though it was a young squad. But, the offense has come around, too, and provided enough offense to keep the pitchers on the winning side. And, we'll have to see tonight. This Chelmsford squad, you mentioned it was 5-0. But a close game last year, a D1 squad that's, I think, 19th before they lost, their last game. That they were 9-2 when the rankings came out. But a tough squad with some big wins against D1 schools, and they're battle tested, and I'm sure they're coming to play tonight. It's going to be a tough game. I'm looking forward to see what Angel brings on the mound. He was on the mound last year when they ended up losing, so I'm sure he's got a memory bank. It's you think it's a new year, new season, new team. Nah, this is a team that beat me last year.
And you'd like another opportunity, Adam. He'll get a crack here this year on a somewhat new-look team for Coach Lou DeStassi. And, he pointed out a few things in our email exchange prior to this one, and he really points to his veteran pitching staff, keeping his team in most of the games, because from the defensive and offensive perspective, they're very young. Only a handful of players return with any varsity experience. But to me, it's the key wins, and you alluded to them, Bill Thomas. Wins over Central Catholic. That's a matching win, of course, with a game for Leominster, and that was a Central Catholic 3-2 win in extra innings back on May the 3rd. They beat BC High back earlier in April, 5-1. There's a huge baseball lineage at BC High. Then you go to St. John's Prep, a 7-6 win in that affair, and then North Andover a little earlier in the season, second game of the year, 5-3 win for this Chelmsford Lions team. That's baseball pedigree. Central Catholic, BC High, St. John's Prep, and North Andover, all wins for this Chelmsford team. And as we turn to the third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. Kate, here's the thing that really stands out. 3 losses for this Chelmsford Lions team. And it required extra innings for each opponent that beat them in each of those games. All 3 losses have come in extra innings in that one against Billerica earlier this year, 5-4 in 9 innings. Then you go to a 4-3 loss against Dracut in extra innings, and then a 2-1 game over Andover at Andover, also in extra innings. So if this Leominster team is prepared to win tonight, they've got one of 2 choices. They better go hard and heavy in the first, 7 innings of this one to get out in front of this Chelmsford team and cling to a lead, or be prepared to play more than 7 innings to win in this one.
I don't think I could handle another one of those already. You know my thoughts on the extra inning situation. So I think the Leominster needs to find the bats here early and often if they want to be able to put a stamp and an exclamation point on this one.
No, and that is the question du jour, Bill Thomas. When you talk about a team that's only lost in extra innings, it says an awful lot about a team's ability to both produce, maintain, and if they find themselves getting behind, scramble back into the game.
Yeah, it's about being battle tested and never giving up. And I didn't look at the box scores of those 3 losses. How if they gave up a lead, they battled back to create the extras. But the fact that you're in extras and you're pulling, I think they've been in 4. They're 1-3 in extra innings. But win or lose, it really shows your mettle when you get to that point in the game. And it shows that you're battling right beyond those full 7 innings. If it takes extra innings, it takes extra baseball, then they're willing to go that extra mile. But like I say, they've got a tough schedule. 19th in D1 with only 3 losses. It kind of says what they're up against in that tough D1 grouping that they're in.
Bill Thomas, you bite your tongue about extra innings. You bite your tongue right now.
The first night we were here, it was like, all right, great game. The sun's out. Where's the sun going?
The best part is
thank goodness it was a noontime start.
That was a day game, Bill Thomas.
Right. We were here till 5 that night. There was 2 teams chomping at the bit from 3 o'clock on. And
my bedtime.
It was a great time, all things considered. Everybody left happy. But I think we were still here when the other teams were finishing their game.
Indeed, it seemed.
With our post-game.
Bite your tongue over there.
Great way to open the season.
We've got an exciting pitching matchup for you in this Leominster-Chelmsford affair as well. We already mentioned Angel Baez for Leominster, and while he hasn't quite decided what his future will hold, and he has a little more time to render those decisions, does Angel Baez. On the other side of things, we've got Braden Gray for the Lions of Chelmsford. He is a Stonehill College commit, and many years ago you'd say Stonehill College, that's a Division II school in the Northeast 10. Quality school. Stonehill is in the midst of its conversion to a Division I school. So they've got an opportunity here to be a Division I athlete as well. I don't know if they have committed to a conference yet. Typically, though, those teams that have left the Northeast 10 have gone either to the Northeast Conference in Division I or the America East, one of those two.
America East.
The landing spot for
no Patriot
for
League?
them. No. Patriot League, you've got to have a really great research-based institution in order to make the Patriot League. It's more than just athletics.
Is the Patriot League still not operating with scholarships, or have they loosened that up?
They have scholarships.
Oh, they do?
Absolutely.
I thought they had tight.
No, without a doubt.
No.
So it's Leominster
you're
and Chelmsford.
You're not doing scholarships.
Yeah, you're doing something.
You want all smart kids to come to your school.
So Harvard gives scholarships, Bill Thomas.
Indeed, they do. Kate, one of the things you've talked about this Leominster team has been their inability to produce offensively at the right moments. And, of course, they got it done on the opening day the last time we were here. If you look at their runs scored, they certainly have produced a number of runs this season. Leominster's got 81 hits on the season, producing 51 runs. You throw in another handful of walks, another 43 walks to that 81. So you're talking about somewhere in the mid-100s for base runners, and you've scored about a third of those, 51 of them. You've played it at home. And that, to me, with a team batting average sub 300 at 296, speaks to that concern that you have anytime Leominster comes out, is it's which team is going to produce. Is it going to be the team that produces offensively, or is it going to be the team that's going to struggle and have to play small ball?
And they can from time to time get streaky. That's the only thing. And sometimes when they hit a rut, they have to rely on small ball. Execution becomes difficult from time to time. When Leominster struggles, they lack base runners, and when you don't have base runners, then the coaching staff can't really do much. You need to get people on base. So again, this Leominster team is incredibly talented, but sometimes when they get into those little ruts, it can be difficult to get out of them.
Indeed, it can be. And Bill Thomas on the other side of that particular coin is trying to figure out, which players in particular, maybe, have you been looking for opportunities but maybe haven't gotten there. And the one, of course, we all have to look at is Tony Savatelli, who, is kind of the offensive guy du jour, but right now, only batting 154, but he's slugging 500. So when he gets there, when he gets the right opportunity, he certainly does make them count. But batting 154, that's not where Tony Savatelli wants to be. Here's an interesting part of that.
Feast of Famine's not going to do it when you're looking for consistency, for sure.
I want to tee up one more time, Bill Thomas. So of those, of course, batting 154, he's got 2 home runs.
Yep.
He's got a triple. He's got a double. He has yet, in his 4 hits, to get a single.
And how many strikeouts?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
Yeah,
let's
sure
consult that number while you are talking.
Double-digit strikeouts, perhaps, and probably hurting that average. Not
as bad as you think. 5.
5? No, not too bad.
Not bad at all.
But you got to put the ball in play if you expect to have a halfway decent batting average, although power does say something.
Indeed, it does. Umpires have made their way out onto the field. Did they?
They had some hustle. They had some spring in their step getting here, so they're warmed up. They're ready to go.
Owen Napolitano will call the balls and strikes tonight.
Looks familiar. Was he here for
he was here for the opening night affair.
So. I was going to say that. And they called a good game, kept the game moving. Had both. When both teams are questioning your balls and strikes, I'm okay with that. Keep the game moving, especially early in the count. Nothing like waking a kid up by calling an early strike.
Bill Thomas, always the contrarian in that regard. It's Leominster and Chelmsford. First pitch is on deck. We're going to join public address announcer Dick Tucker here at historic Doyle Field in his 43rd season out here introducing the two teams. National anthems coming up, and then first pitch of Leominster and Chelmsford. We'll have the starting lineups with the first pitch to follow when we continue. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM.
Best of luck to both teams.
Dick Tucker's going to get us another strike on the social media world with his copywritten music. No, we appreciate it. Dick always brings great environment. The problem is YouTube and Facebook.
Let them come after
They're
us.
overly sensitive on that one.
Plenty of high-powered lawyers.
I was going to say, Bill
Yeah,
Thomas is running the RFM legal team as the
Bring
case
it on.
may be. All right, let's get you started. Leominster and
Slept in a
Chelmsford.
Motel 6 last
Ready,
night.
that's right. Ready to go.
Not
That's
a
right.
sponsor, and it's Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn.
Not a
the-
sponsor.
That's the one. Also, not
We're
a
in.
sponsor. Here we go. Let's get the 1 through 9 for these Lions of Chelmsford. Coach Lou DeStasi will send them to the plate in this order. Grant Engelhart will play center field, bat leadoff. Jack Keogh, the left fielder, bats second. The designated hitter is Matt Stewart. He'll bat out of the 3-hole. Jack Blaine does the catching and bats cleanup. Ryan Clark is the third baseman, bats in the 5-hole. The 6-hole occupied by Finn Ramsayer, the first baseman. The shortstop is Matt Hall. He'll bat 7th. Nate Michaud, the right fielder, bats 8th. In the 9-hole, it's Tyler Connors, the second baseman. Their pitcher will be Braden Gray. He will be the pitcher, not hitting in a 10-person starting lineup for the Lions. They will square off against the Leominster Battery. Angel Baez gets the start for Leominster in this contest. Baez will throw to the catcher, Zach Casey. Take you around the infield for Leominster. Jake Richard plays first base. Over at second, it's Alex Aquendo. Nick Massa, the shortstop, and Tony Savatelli is at third. Left to right across the outfield, it's Tom Gosson, Reese Laura, and Tyler Godin, right to left across the outfield. Backing up their pitcher, the ace, Angel Baez, in his 26 innings pitched. He's got a 2-1 overall record, an ERA of 1.62. Bill Thomas loves the whip, so I'll give it to you. 1.2 on the whip. 2-1 on the season at this point in time. But here's the key. This is the number we were talking about before we got on the air here tonight. Angel Baez is allowing what seemingly is a ton of hits. 24 hits to this point, throwing another 6 walks. That's 30 people in theory on base. But here's the number, Bill Thomas, that I love. Stranding 22 of those on base.
They're working from the stretch a lot, and if you don't know what whip is, it's walks and hits per innings pitched. And the lower that, you got under a 1. You're usually on the winning side of the equation. You're 1-4, 1-5. You're probably 500 or worse. And I love that stat. But the other one we were talking about was OPS. Anybody knows what that is, feel free to chime in because we haven't figured that out.
And the first pitch from
First
Angel
pitch,
Baez.
strike.
6:23 called strikes as umpire Owen Napolitano. Follow on that with a ball 1, and it is 1-1 to the opening batter, Grant Engelhart.
First pitch, 6:24.
The swing on this third pitch that Engelhart sees sends a lazy line drive to center field, and it's reeled in by Laura for out number 1.
Bailey had to move. Position perfectly right there. Sounded loud off the bat. Laura right where he needed to be.
Indeed. Thank Coach Rich Barnaby of Leominster for those statistics on Baez. We'll have some offensive statistics for you coming up, as well as Jack Keogh, the left fielder, steps in with 1 out here in the top of the first. Swing and a miss on his first offering from Baez. Now the 0-1. Ball drifts just high, and it's 1-1 to the second batter that Baez sees. In that first game that we saw Angel Baez, Bill Thomas, now granted it was opening day, he went deep into a lot of counts.
Yeah, he threw a lot of pitches that day. He battled, and I think it was it 1? It was 1-1, or did he have a lead when they took him out? But I tell you, he did throw a lot of pitches, and deep into that game, I believe he pitched the first full 7.
Working quickly here.
1-2 ball down and away. Bill Thomas, you remember Baez actually struggled in that one. Lifted after 3
Oh, is that
in that contest, but he gets the game-winning hit. That's why you remember his performance.
Okay.
The
That's right.
2-2 ball down.
Because Leominster's not using a designated hitter when he's on the mound. He's hitting for himself. So you're right. I knew he was instrumental later on in that game, but you're spot on, Todd.
Check down a first on Keogh, and they say no, it's ball 3. Full count, 3-2 with 1 out, and he gets the stick on that one. Sends it back to the screen,
I got it.
and we'll try another 3-2 pitch.
Coming right into your living room.
Indeed it is. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the first inning. And there is an off-speed pitch that drifted on Baez. You could see it off release, and it's ball 4, and it's an early walk and a base runner for the Lions.
Matt Stewart.
Stewart, designated hitter, and he's a prototypical looking designated hitter, Todd and Kate.
Indeed he is.
Big kid.
With a hot pink bat in his hands. And he sees a pitch that is upstairs on his frame for ball number 1.
Angel doesn't have that break on that curveball early on.
Missed high on almost every single ball.
Got to think a little bit that's not as he moves to the stretch here. And a quick check over, and they snap the tag down, does Richard. And Keogh is back safely. You got to think a little bit, right? That's about arm snap, and that's about the bend at the waist, right? Finishing and following all the way through.
Release point, too. You know, he's kind of got it started at the batter, but it's not snapping.
The 1-0, inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stewart looked like he was taken all the way there. Back-to-back, it was 4 straight balls from Baez.
Yeah, smart hitter right there. Make him throw a strike.
Baez the quick check again. The ball gets away from Richard. Scrambling back to his feet is Keogh, and Keogh scrambles standing into second base.
Couldn't really see the play. Error on the throw over, Kate?
Yeah, just to tangle up at first base, and first baseman not able to make that play. Stretched out across his body, mishandled the ball.
1-1 the count to the third hitter of the ball game. It's Matt Stewart now with Keogh at second. And there is a strike from Baez as he pours that in on the outer half. Gets ahead of the 3-hole hitter Stewart. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Baez now stares in. Zach Casey with the signs. He steps off the back, and he's going to reset things. High school baseball here on RFM. We welcome our Chelmsford audience for a second year in a row here to high school baseball here on RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch. This broadcast, remember, as we see the 1-2 pitch, swinging, Stewart grounds this one to Massa on 2 hops. Corrals on to first, 6-3 the putout for out number 2. A fielder's choice allows Keogh to advance to third. This broadcast here on RFM of high school baseball is a radio broadcast with pictures. So our angles are limited, so we make the best of what we can. Kate's going to bring you the best pictures she's got available. In the meantime, when you can't see it, we'll fill it in with the award-winning play-by-play. Long ground ball, the backhand from Massa, across the diamond, cut down to end the inning, and the threats. Great play, back-to-back outs. Played by Massa, 6-3, 6-3. And Leominster is in the dugout through 1/2 inning in a scoreless ball game. We head to the bottom of the first. It's no runs on no hits, no errors, strand 1 for the Lions. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. No score. Chelmsford and Leominster due up. Let's take a look at the Leominster 1 through 9 submitted by Rich Barnaby, and it looks like this. Jake Richard, the first baseman, will bat leadoff. This is different, mind you, from the opening game of the season, so talk about how this lineup has progressed. Jake Richard, first baseman, bats leadoff, moving up from the 2-hole earlier in the season. Tom Gostin, the left fielder, bats out of the 2-hole now. Nick Massa's the shortstop and bats third. Tony Savatelli, despite what we talked about off the top, he maintains that cleanup spot. Coach Barnaby relying on the senior leadership and that breakout moment that is forthcoming. Angel Baez, the pitcher, hits for himself, bats 5th. The 6-hole, Tyler Godin from right field. Reese Laura, the center fielder, bats 7th. The catcher is Zach Casey. He'll bat 8th. Alex Aquendo moves from leadoff to double leadoff down to the 9-hole in Leominster's 1 through 9 lineup. The defensive alignment for the Lions of Chelmsford, left to right across the outfield. It's Keogh, Engelhart, and Mishad. Right to left across the infield from first to third. It's Ramsayer, Connors, Hall, and Clark. Blaine does the catching for Braden Gray, who gets the start, the Stonehill College commit, and you can see why Bill Thomas, he's got some height, and he certainly has got some powerful legs, a strong lower body, as he takes his warm-up tosses.
He does, Todd, and you know, he's got that Roger Clemens look, which is a tough comparison, but when you talk about the lower body, I don't want to say he's got a big butt, but definitely the thighs are there, and he's definitely got that power pitcher look. Saw him snap off a couple of hard curveballs, too. If he's got those two things working tonight, it's going to be a tough matchup for this Leominster offense.
Built up.
Hey, it is what it is. Everybody's built for a certain position. Catches built like fire hydrants and,
Is that what I was built
pitches,
as?
Yeah.
You were built
I was built as a fire hydrant?
You were built
Low-
as part of the
it's
bench.
low
I was,
center
I was
of
built as
gravity.
part of. I was more of a fire truck.
It's all
than I
about
think.
the low center of gravity.
Todd, you were built to be on the bench.
Jake Richard bats leadoff for Leominster. We're just going to change it. He swings at the first pitch he sees, sends it toward right center, ranging over his Mishad, and the lefty reels it in, heading over toward center field for a loud out number one.
Yeah, tricky wind, too. Wind blowing left to right, kind of in his face. Got to judge that. You don't want it to carry over your head and turn into extra bases. Nice job right there in right center field.
Richard slugging .351. He comes in batting .270 and took a swing at the first pitch he saw. Now Gosson comes to the plate.
0-2 right away.
Yes, he is. He's in the hole 0-2, Kate. You are correct. He's batting just shy of .400 in his 10 games played and 31 at-bats for Gosson. .387. This one swung, hit on the ground, charging forward. It's Hall, cross the body and across the diamond, and it's a 6-3 put-out textbook. And Leominster quickly 2 up and 2 down, retired by Braden Gray.
Not only that, Todd and Kate, 4 pitches, 4 strikes.
called efficient.
Braden Gray's pitching like he's got a dinner appointment.
Indeed
like
he does.
that
And
He's got a
15-minute late
reservation
start.
somewhere.
Leominster's doing what they can to help him out thus far as this first pitch to Massa, knee-high strike number 1, and the count is 0-1. Massa comes in, batting .357. He is slugging .429.
Low.
0-1. That ball is down.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
My head's
Multitask.
not-
The
my
hand
head's not-
signal.
My head's not straight.
It's all right.
Sorry, guys.
Here's the 1-1 fastball strike on the outer half, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bear with Kate.
Very little
gonna-
little filter tonight,
I was going to
y'all.
say a lot of allergy meds as this one swung on the ground, reeled in by Hall, down to the one knee, up low and dug out of the dirt by Ramsayer to cut down Massa at first. 6-3 the putout, 3 up and 3 down in the inning. For Leominster, efficiency the name of the game for Braden Gray. It's no run on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Through 1 complete here at Doyle Field, it's Leominster and Chelmsford knotted at 0. We take a break. We're back with more. It's high school baseball right here on RFM. Back to historic Doyle Field and on to the top of the second inning we go. Middle of the order. Clark, Ramsayer, Hall. 5-6-7 due up for the Lions. First pitch to Clark, a ball. Count 1-0. Baez now with the 1-0 pitch. Missed off the corner. Count 2-0.
Angel continues to work from behind here. We commented a lot of base runners this season for Angel, although he's worked out of trouble.
2-0 strike at the knees, working that outer half, trying to get these right-handed batters to chase.
Averaging over a base runner per inning.
The 2-1, cut on and missed. 2-2.
Both pitchers working quickly.
Extremely fast.
I was going to say, if you're standing up there wanting to contemplate your thoughts, don't step out of the box.
Choose another day.
That's right. Here comes the 2-2 from Baez. Cut on and miss for out number 1.
And I'd say be ready to swing, too, because both pitches are finding their groove right now.
Baez got his first strikeout, the victim, Ryan Clark, the third baseman. And that brings Finn Ramsayer, the first baseman, to the plate. Looks oddly familiar as the first inning where Leominster got a quick first out. Let's see what happens behind that, because there was a lot of fun that led nowhere for the Lions. First pitch to Ramsayer. Goes Oppo. Scooped by Aquendo at second. On to first. 4-3 the putout.
Shortstop, number 10.
Guess that answers that question right quick.
Indeed it does. Worked quickly there. One pitch and one more out. 2 away here in the top of the second inning.
Because you're right, Todd. Second batter of the inning when gave up that walk, but buckled down to get 2 ground balls to the shortstop to get out of the inning with strand that runner at third.
First pitch to Matt Hall, the shortstop, is a ball just off the plate from Baez. Count goes to 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball knee high for a strike, count 1-1, and that has been pretty consistently both available as well as Baez's ability to hit it there. That knee high outside pitch. Here comes the 1-1. Cut on and missed by Hall. Might have got a little piece of it on its way back to Casey, who held on for strike 2.
Baez reared back and let that one fly, bringing the heat.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second inning, Baez looking to go to the dugout. The 1-2 pitch lifted up and out of play by Hall. We'll try another 1-2 offering here. Baez looks out over the glove. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball. Froze him for strike 3.
Kind of can see that one coming after working that heat. Threw that curveball to perfection. Talk about freezing them. That's what happened.
And a quick second inning, and no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Through 1.5 here at Doyle Field. Chelmsford and Leominster deadlocked at nothing. Deadlocked in a pitching duel. This one's going to be fun. Stick and stay with us. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM. Four, 5, 6, and Tony Bocelli Savatelli comes to the plate for his first offering. It's a called strike, and the count goes 0-1 here as we open up the bottom of the second inning.
Thought that might have been Pavarotti.
Either way.
It's Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I was right. That's a ball down.
Great walk-up.
You know, me and my classics. Gray from the stretch. Fires one at Savatelli, who rips this one wide and foul.
He always has fun, though.
Count
There's
1
no-
ball, 2 strikes.
Always levity with him.
2 things you love about Tony Savatelli. The fact that he loves the sport of baseball. I mean, he sincerely loves this game. And he has a heck of a lot of fun while he does it. Those 2 things do tend to go together. The 1-2 pitch, and he lifts this one high and deep. Back toward the fence. Keogh is there. It is off the high wall out in left field. Savatelli will cruise on into second with a wall ball double to open the bottom of the second inning.
Didn't miss a home run by much there. Got it up in that second set of panels, but not quite high enough to get it over the monster out there next to the scoreboard.
Took him an extra couple seconds to get to second base, though, friends.
He was watching it a little bit.
That'll help the 154 batting average, but the key stat, that's his second double on the season on its fifth hit.
Still no singles.
Still not a single to be found.
All extra base hits for Tony.
And that brings Angel Baez to the plate, who sees a first pitch strike from fellow pitcher Braden Gray, and Baez in the hole. 0-1. Baez is hitting .340, slugging .385.
See if he can't help himself out here.
Stewart looks back at Savatelli, then brings the 0-1. It's down below the knees, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. And Baez rips this one into the 5-6 hole and into shallow left. Great charge by Keogh. He'll keep Savatelli close. Leominster's got runners at the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning.
Nice job right there by Angel, helping himself out.
Back-to-back hits for the Blue Devils. These are the types of things when they are cool, you do not see that. So already boding well that they're able against Gray, who was incredibly efficient in that first inning, able to get back-to-back hits. That's exactly what you want to see from the middle of your lineup.
Thing about Gray, too, as I think Blue Devils will figure out, he's around the plate with everything.
Everything.
Just go up there ready
as soon
to
as
hack.
you see one, go.
He's not nibbling. He's
attacking.
He's firing it.
And that brings Tyler Godin to the plate, who snaps a throw over to first. Not worried about the fleet-footed Savatelli at third. Instead, he checks Baez on his backside.
You guys are ruthless.
Here comes Gray, ready at the belt, and checks back again.
Tony, go. Go, Tony, go. Actually, we would not advise.
I would like to see Angel see if you think I would play on here.
And Gray gets that one inner half strike, and the count goes 0-1 on his first offering to Godin, who's only hit in 2 games. His batting average .800 right now. And now he'll check Baez back to first once again.
Yeah, Chelmsford defense playing for a double play, willing to concede the run here. Midland Field is back, in on the corners a little bit.
Gray's 0-1. Godin lifts this one toward right field, and it's in play but foul as it just catches the top of the fence, and Godin's in the hole 0-2. Godin settles in. Gray casually ready, comes back to the belt and snaps this one back over to first. Kate, we were talking a little bit about watching Gray throw, and he is equal parts long and short all at the same time. You equated it a bit to an elastic band. You could call it some form of like, like a pea shooter, some sort of a something of that nature. I mean, it just comes so directly out of the chute.
Slingshot.
Yes. This the snap back over, the tag applied, and Baez still half a step over there, but certainly now in the running for the Pigpen Award today.
Yes, he is.
0-2 to Godin. High fastball, and Godin sends that one into the visiting stands and
Still 0-2.
Buzzes a fan out there along the walking track as well. Count is 0-2.
Ends up out by the clubhouse.
Indeed.
Heads up.
Gray sends this one to the outer half. Godin gets a bat on it. Savatelli to come in to score. The play across the diamond. Hall to Ramsayer is not in time. It's an RBI infield single for Godin.
Hustle single right there, too. He's going to get the RBI, putting it in play, but beat that throw. Hustling down the line.
Baez went station to station to move up to second. It's 1-0 Leominster here in the bottom of the second with still nobody out and 2 on for the Blue Devils.
Ooh.
And Gray wants that one, and he's not going to get it from Owen Napolitano at the plate. Counts 1-0.
And to square to bunt on that?
Reese flashing bunt right there. Playing a little small ball now after getting that first run.
Gray looks at Baez, shows bunt again, pulls back. Now the throw from Blaine out to second, and Baez back just in time. The oven mitt catches the bag.
It's far closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Kate. Just begging him to throw the ball down there. It almost cost him.
A great job by Jack Blaine. That one was on the money to his shortstop coming over Hall to cover. And now Gray brings the 2-0 and misses, and the count is 3-0. And to me, it's the lack of ability to gain rhythm here for the pitcher, Gray, as Leominster's got him moving all over the field. 3-0 to Reese Laura. Fastball down the tube for strike number 1, and the count's 3-1.
Still better be about as beautiful a thing as you've ever seen for you to take that bat off your shoulder.
Laura's batting .448. He is slugging .759, and he clips that one foul. Kate, did that one meet the classification?
It was close.
No.
I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
At the knees, a little outside.
I'm not well liked around here anyway, Bill Thomas, so you just stop it.
I'll say
It was close enough.
it for you. I'll say it for you.
Count runs full with nobody out. Runners on first and second for the blue and white. Baez shows go, and the 3-2 pitch missed inside. It's a free pass issued by Gray.
Tough take right there.
It is, yeah, yes, I would agree with that as well.
And it loads the bases for Leominster with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning and a run already in.
Thought we were going to get a visit to the mound here, just doing a little defensive talk. Still defense playing back, looking for 2 in the middle.
Mostly just to slow things down. Zach Casey, the catcher, comes to the plate, batting .233, slugging the same. And that's a ball high, and the count is 1-0.
Good time to remind everybody, out at every base here. Look to get that force at home. You want to cut that run down, get that lead runner.
Gray stares at Baez, now brings the 1-0. Took a little something off of it and got it in the zone. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Gray ready at the belt now. Casually set, the 1-1. Breaking ball, cut on and missed by Casey, and it's 1-2.
Way out in front on that one. Sweeping a curve on the outside corner.
Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the second, a run already in for Leominster. The 1-2 pitch from Gray, missed to the outside corner, and the count goes 2-2. And Coach DeStasi and the coaching staff for the Lions wants to know where it was. Plate umpire says off the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bottom of the second. Zach Casey looks out at Braden Gray, and Gray brings a 2-2 breaking ball. It will go up the middle, tailor-made double play potential. There's cut down 1, on to first, in time for the out. But another run is in as Baez will come home and score. So the fielder's choice, 6-4-3 double play up the middle. 2 outs away here for Leominster as Casey gets the RBI fielder's choice in the ground outs.
Still a runner on third for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they took the 2 up the middle. The 6-4 was Laura for out number 1. And then 4-3 gets you out number 2. And that brings Alex Oquendo to the plate, and he's already ahead 1-0.
And no RBI on that, even though they did score a run.
Correct, and there is the
RBI to that.
line shot in, and that will fall in for a single, and it will score Godin from third, and Leominster's got a 3-0 advantage in this one. Another RBI single in the inning.
Nice knock right there. Looked like they were going to end up squandering the bases loaded opportunity. Find a way to plate that run from third with 2 outs. Big hit right there.
And it's back to the top of the order for Leominster. Jake Richard, he lined out to the right center field gap in his first at-bat. And that first pitch he sees from Gray in this at-bat misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Gray stays in the stretch with the runner on at first. The 1-0. Fastball a little up in the zone, but strike number 1. Counts 1 ball and 1 strike. Gray peeks over his shoulder to check on Oquendo, the speedy Oquendo. The 1-1 comes to the plate, and Richard sends it out of play. But it's 1-2.
Bill Thomas, where'd the nice day go?
I know it, huh?
A 70-degree day right around first pitch.
Usually when the sun goes down, the wind goes with it, too. Not the case tonight out here.
Gray is going to send Oquendo back to the bag. Nice job by Ramsayer with the quick pick and tag to try to get the
nice
umpire.
Snap tag there.
He really does have a nice
Beautiful.
snap tag.
It gets back there quick. I love it.
1-2 with 2 outs. to Richard. Breaking ball, and Richard sends that one into the right center field gap. That's going to be a single. Aquendo chugs around second and into third, standing and moving up behind the play, diving in with his now single and an advance on the throw. It is Jake Richard.
And I tell you, that hit and run pulled off to perfection. Plunked that ball right where the second baseman would have been standing on the edge of the grass there. He's breaking. He was the cover guy, and that's right where the ball went.
Breaking right towards second base.
Perfectly
Loved that
placed.
you saw him moving to his right. That's exactly where that ball was. That would have been an absolutely routine play for a second
Easy
baseman.
fly ball right there. Just a lazy looping fly ball landed right where he was stationed pre-pitch.
Absolutely. Saw the same thing, Bill Thomas.
Gossin comes to the plate. First pitch strike. He's in the hole 0-1. He grounded out to the shortstop Hall in his first at bat.
The Blue Devils with 2 more men in scoring position.
Yeah, 2 big runs out there, Kate. If they can find a way to plate these, turn this into a big 5-run inning. But good job here, battling for 3 as it is.
Ball.
Sandwiched around that double play.
Floats high. It's 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground by Gossin to the third baseman Clark. Cross the diamond, the stretch, and Ramsayer may have pulled Kate correct, but got the toe back on the bag, and it ends the inning. 5-3, the put out.
I gotta stop doing it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, so.
Just coming. I really do feel
whatever you say.
I am so lacking the ever-loving poop out of you today.
Kate, I'm usually the one doing
It's
it
all
football
me.
season.
I'm so sorry, Todd.
We can have all the accolades.
It's okay, no apologies required.
So
Through 2 here at Doyle Field. Leominster with a 3-run inning on the back of, get this, 4 hits in the inning. So 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors. They strand 2 in that one. But through 2 here at Doyle Field, it's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. We head to the top of the third. Chelmsford's order will finish out 8-9 top due up. It's Michaud, Connors, and Engelhart for the Lions. More to come. High school baseball right here on RFM. To the top of the third we go here on RFM. Baez back on the bump, sends his first pitch to the plate to Michaud. First pitch swinging up the middle. Aquendo gave a shot at it, tried to go backhand from his second base position out behind the second base bag. Just out of his reach. It will roll into shallow center. And it's a leadoff single for Nate Michaud on 1 pitch for the Lions. And hey, if you're Coach Lou DeStassi, you got to have looked at your team heading out into this at bat and go, hey, they did it, so can we.
Yeah, you got to get something back here. But the Angels got to come out with a shutdown inning here too, and kind of take that momentum away from Chelmsford totally.
Tyler Connors sees a first pitch ball low, and the count is 1-0.
But as Angel's been doing all season, he's working with a runner on base.
Here's the 1-0 fastball. Strike on the outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The way Angel's season has been going, he should just give up pitching from the windup and concentrate on the stretch.
The snap back over, the tag applied by Richard, and back safely is Michaud. That's the 25th hit given up, but he's had great defense and he's pitched his way out of trouble all year long. Here's the 1-1. Fastball for a strike, and the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michaud over at first. Connors at the plate. In the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Baez, the quick snap. Cuts down the runner at first.
Ooh.
What a pretty move by Baez. 3/4 snap throw over. Richard applies the tag, and Michaud is retired.
That's the way to help yourself.
Count is still 1-2.
Great defensive play when you don't have to throw the ball to the plate. The 1-2 pitch missed off the outside, and the count levels. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball. Freezes him. 3rd strike out of the game. 2nd one by way of the backward K. And then there's quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd from having a 1-pitch leadoff single to now a pickoff followed by a caught looking in that 8-9 hole. Makes this inning look totally different than it did.
I tell you, it straightens the inning right out and could turn this into a 1-2-3 inning on paper. But after struggling a little bit in that first inning, Angels settled down. Throwing strikes.
Back to the top of the order, it's Grant Engelhart. Only saw 2 pitches in his first at-bat, and now sees a breaking ball for a strike at number 1 here in the 3rd. He lined out to center field in his leadoff at-bat back in the 1st. Here comes the 0-1 from Baez. Breaking ball, inner half miss. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
Angels got that ball dancing right now. Bill Thomas on that breaking ball.
He does. Just he can't fall in love with it, though. He's got to continue to mix his pitches up.
1-1 breaking ball. Also missed.
3 straight curveballs right there. Got to keep him honest. But now you're almost looking dead red.
Here comes the 2-1.
There it is.
Reached. Little tap. Baez off the mound. Feels it. Flips it. 1-3 for another putout. Ends the inning and the threat. And Angel Baez accounts for a part of every single out in that inning. A pickoff, a caught looking in the 9 hole, and fields his position with a ground out and flip to conclude the top of the 3rd. Through 2.5 here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Leominster 3, 4, 5 due up in the order. Massa, Savatelli, and Baez on the way to the plate. More to come. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on RFM. First pitch swinging deep toward left, and it's warning track power for Nick Massa to open up the 3rd as Jack Keogh reels that one in deep left. We apologize, a little technical difficulty there, a little snafu, but hey, we can bring you the description. You still got a great look here at home plate as that was a fly ball out to left for out number 1. Brings Tony Savatelli to the plate. Got everything started in the 2nd. This one skied deep toward Keogh, and he could have stood in the exact same spot as he makes the catch for out number 2.
Pitcher number 10, Angel Baez.
So back-to-back deep warning track flyouts for Leominster from Massa and Savatelli. And 2 outs now quickly here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brings Baez to the plate, singled and a run scored in the 2nd. Sees a first pitch in this at-bat from Gray for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Baez gets a piece, fouled back toward the backstop. Count 0-2. Just got a little piece of that one. Count is 0-2. And here's the 0-2 breaking ball. Baez rips that outside a third foul, and he'll try another 0-2 pitch. Kate and Bill Thomas sorting out that other camera position. We're good now. The 0-2 Baez hit on the ground. Clark drops back, plays the ball across the diamond. A split at first base for Ramsayer. Reeled in for out number 3. What a play by Finn Ramsayer to go full extension to make the play and end the threat. 5-3 the put out for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for Leominster in the third. 3 complete here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster 3, Chelmsford nothing. To the 4th inning we go. 2-3-4 due up for the Lions in the top of the 4th. It's Keogh, Stewart, and Blaine. A break and we're back with more. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM. To the top of the 4th we go here on RFM. 2-3-4 as promised. Jack Keogh will lead things off for the Lions here in the top of the 4th inning as Leominster leads 3-0 here after a huge second inning. But Bill Thomas, I know you were troubleshooting a little bit there, but that shutdown inning from Braden Gray of Leominster in the 3rd was huge for keeping the Lions in this one in striking distance.
Yeah, he needed to. He had a big 28-pitch inning there. He needed to get his wits back about him there, and now we'll have to see if Chelmsford come out and put something on the board because he definitely helped to regain some momentum for him.
The 0-1, and Keogh rips that one up the middle, and Laura will play it in center field on the one knee, and it's a leadoff single in the top of the 4th for the Lions.
That's just what the Lions needed there to get themselves going, especially after that shutdown inning that Gray gave them. Grab some bats and get something going.
Absolutely. And that brings Matt Stewart to the plate, the designated hitter. Grounded out to the shortstop, back in the 1st in his only at-bat. And now sees a first pitch from Baez for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Baez from the stretch sneaks a peek over his shoulder at Keogh. And the 0-1 breaking ball missed off the outside. Casey out of the crouch to make a backhand play on that one. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Baez with that pickoff last inning there, hopefully taking a half a step away from Keogh out of that lead.
And he'll snap another one over there, and Keogh back safely. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out here. Top of the 4th inning, and the Lions chasing 3. Baez is ready now, sends the 1-1 to the plate. This one's lifted by Stewart. Towards center field, Laura drifts over and makes the catch in shallow center field. And that's out number 1.
Catcher number
Brings the
3,
catcher Jack Blaine to the plate. Blaine also grounded out to the shortstop back in the first to end the first for the Lions.
Blaine stranded the base runner at third his first time up that first inning.
And Baez drifted high, and the count goes 1-0.
Sure, he'd like to make up for that now, kind of keep the inning going here for the Lions.
Keogh hanging out over at first. The snap throw. Tag applied by Richard, and not in time.
Baez must have looked back there 3 times before he made that attempt.
Something certainly has caught his attention. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball sweeps in from just outside the batter's left shoulder and breaks to the corner for a called strike. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Knee-high swing and a miss from Blaine, and the count is 1-2.
He's got that bender working pretty good tonight. I think the wind helping him out a little bit, coming across the diamond from left to right, third to first, giving that a little extra snap.
1-2 pitch, missed inside, and the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Last bit of sunshine getting ready to go away. Only person with any sun in their eyes right now is Tyler Godin out in right field.
Another pick attempt back at first was unsuccessful.
Surprised they don't have the lights on yet.
Agreed.
We've been wondering that same thing, but here comes the 2-2, and Jack Blaine is stuck. Third caught looking in this one. 4th strikeout overall for Baez, and it's good for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th.
Not only does that tell me Baez has good stuff, another close play at first over there, but he's definitely keeping the Chelmsford batters off base there, off balance, and mixing up his pitch is great.
And Baez sends a ball into Ryan Clark. Count goes to 1-0. Clark swinging strikeout back in the second in his lone at bat. Baez ready now, and Clark hit on the ground. Bobbled by Savatelli at third. Recovers across the diamond. That's going to be an E5 for Savatelli, and that will allow both runners to move on the play. Keogh now down to second on the error. Clark at first reaches on the error.
And that's tough because that was a fairly routine ground ball to the left side of the infield. Would have gotten them out of the inning.
Yeah, nothing tricky about that, Kate. It bounced up right into his glove, just didn't squeeze it.
That's one of those you wonder if you're lifting that head.
Took a peek.
That brings Finn Ramsayer to the plate. First pitch he sees is a called strike. Runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning, and a 3-0 lead for Angel Baez and the Leominster Blue Devils. The 0-1 breaking ball, cut on and missed by Ramsayer, and the count is 0-2. Ramsayer grounded out to second base in his lone at bat back in the second, but he's had a great game defensively over at first. Baez ready now, the 0-2, well upstairs, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Baez steadies himself with runners on first and second. A 1-2 count. And now time asked for by Ramsayer. Now he'll settle back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Baez ready at the belt now. And he'll go pickoff. Oquendo diving in, makes the catch. It's a pickoff to end the inning. What a play. Baez with a great snap, but an equally amazing play by Alex Oquendo to make the backhand play at the heels and get the tag in to retire Jack Keogh on a pickoff. The second pickoff of the game, and in as many innings for Angel Baez. That might take 2 half steps off the leads going forward. Everything coming up blue and white through 3.5 here at Doyle Field as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. A break and we're back with more. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM. To the bottom of the fourth we go here on RFM, and it's a first pitch strike to Tyler Godin. And now on the 0-1, hits a little squibbler up the first baseline. Off the field, his position is Gray. The little one-hand flip over to Ramsayer, and that is out number one. Godin retired quickly here, 1-3 for the first out.
Talked about Gray settling down a little bit, 5 in a row for him now.
And it brings Reese Laura to the plate. Laura walked and then was cut down on the front end of a 6-4-3 double play.
Looks like Gray's one of those pitches that if you don't get him early, he just gets stronger.
The 1-0. Fastball down, count 2-0. Gray steadies himself, full windup here. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball missed the outer half, count to 3-0. Gray, 3-0 offering. Tuber for strike number one, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike to Reese Laura. Laura has a discerning eye. 3-1, cut on that one and missed, and the count to 3-2.
Didn't have much choice on that one. That was going to be a strike one way or the other.
Coming all the way back.
Indeed. Payoff pitch, ball 4, and Laura knew it. Draws his second walk of the game.
Catcher number 2, Zach Casey.
And that brings Zach Casey to the plate. He grounded out to second base in his lone at-bat back in the second. Like to get something going for Leominster here with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the fourth. And he gets underneath that one, sends it to the backstop, and the count is 0-1.
The lights are on.
The lights are on here at historic Doyle Field. A beautiful 70-degree day turns into a cool-ish middle 60 evening. On a Monday night, some Monday night baseball here at Doyle Field. The 0-1 count with 1 out. Casey at the plate. Gray zips it in for a strike, and the count is now 0-2. If you're enjoying high school baseball here on RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, like, follow, and subscribe. When the action goes live, we find you as Casey chases that one for a strikeout. And out number 2 here in the bottom of the fourth. It is the first strikeout of the day for Gray as he tabulates that one. And that brings Alex Oquendo to the plate. He singled, brought home a runner back in the second, a check back on over to first. Not in time to retire Laura as Gray tries to get in on the pickoff action. Oquendo awaits the first pitch of this at-bat. Gray ready at the belt. First offering, worm burner for ball 1.
The picture of health.
Kate suffering from a little seasonal allergy affair. Here's the 1-0 and cut on and missed by Oquendo. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Like the giraffe from Madagascar.
No, you're not.
I just want to go to my dying hole.
No. Now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Laura over at first. The 1-1. Missed the lower half of the zone and the count to 2-1.
We get to watch those movies now and not feel like weirdos.
It helps when you have a 9-month-old.
Yes. Way to go pee.
2 balls and a strike. Missed inside. Nice job by Blaine. Come out of the crouch and catch that one.
I knew having a baby would be a good idea.
Count to 3-1. That's the only reason.
Expands your viewership possibilities.
No,
your viewing.
Increase the RFM family. More on the broadcast team. Throw over to first, and laying on the bag was Laura.
He just learned to stand up.
I was going to say, how's the vocabulary coming along?
He does
We get
good.
a headset. Yeah.
We're working on it.
He's got...
As Oquendo asks for time, steps out.
Good for him.
Was waiting
Pretty
a
soon.
couple minutes. Hey, the time will
It'll
come.
be-
He says okay.
Yeah.
And all done.
All done. We're working on that. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4. It's a walk. Blaine will send that one down, and Laura just casually walks by the tag, as it was, in fact, ball 4. Third walk surrendered on the game. First to another person other than Reese Laura. Moves Oquendo to first, and Laura safely down to second. So runners on first and second here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and we go back to the top of the order with 2 outs. Jake Richard at the plate. Richard lined out to center field in his first at-bat, singled and stranded in the second. Blaine goes out, has a conversation with Gray, and now comes back to the plate.
Quite the lead at first right now. Holy moly.
Yeah, Oquendo not afraid, that's for sure. First offering to Richard, a strike on the inside. He tried to jackknife away from it. Can't limbo under a strike. Count is 0-1. Peak taken by Gray, kicks and delivers.
Yeah,
Strike,
that was coming.
now the throw down to first. And Oquendo might have gotten hit with the ball. Yeah. Meanwhile, it allows the move up as Laura advances on the ball in the dirt down to first.
Yeah, hit Laura in the wrist over there. He's holding his right wrist.
That is Oquendo holding the wrist over at first.
Sorry.
Laura's over here at third. No worries, Bill Thomas.
Hit Oquendo in the wrist. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he's trying to shake it off.
Probably like a stinger right on that bone.
On a cool evening, nothing better. Call was a ball at the plate. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs here, and Leominster has runners on the corners.
Yes, an effective lead there at first base.
Indeed it was. Did what you needed it to do. Gray is ready at the chest. Richard waits as they check Oquendo again, and he has certainly got the attention of Gray, and Leominster has done a good job all night long, moving pieces around just subtly to keep Gray busy on things other than being able to focus at the plate. He'll send another one over there.
His lead is shortened by about 25%, and yet we're still checking back there. So interesting that he has that much attention.
Certainly fleet of foot. Here's the 1-1. That missed upstairs. The throw down to second. Laura takes, Laura holds. Richard takes, and the throw goes down. It is a ball. Count 2-1.
I wonder if Laura missed the sign there and didn't break on that throw through.
Possibly, although Coach Barnaby is still smiling down there.
Yeah.
So,
oh, he'll talk to him later about it if in fact he did. But
here's the 2-1. Fastball low. 3 balls and a strike.
2 runners in scoring position, and Gray's all of a sudden struggling here.
Leominster has not struggled putting bat on ball, so it may have been a hold up there at third base.
3-1. That is going to be a foul ball as Richard ducked down out of the way but didn't bring his bat with him.
I heard it too.
That ball was headed to the backstop and probably going to end up with a run there for the Blue Devils, but just unfortunate they caught the bat.
A run-saving foul ball. And the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Breaking ball. Richard deliberately swings on this one. Lofts it toward right field. On a dead run, Mishad will make the catch in right field to retire the threat for Leominster in the bottom of the 4th. Through 4 here at Doyle Field, it's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. If you're enjoying high school baseball here on RFM, we've got more baseball action for you in the weeks ahead. We've got high school baseball coming up next week, but I'm referring a little further down the calendar, and that is right here on RFM thanks to a new partnership with the Leominster Legion team. You will have Legion Baseball coming up, summer baseball here on RFM in the month of June. First game coming up the Sunday before Father's Day. That is June the 11th. The game to be played at McLaughlin Park over off of 117, the host and home of Leominster Legion Baseball. Leominster Legion plays a perennial fantastic Milford Legion team, and we'll have that action for you here on RFM in the weeks ahead. 4 Legion regular season games here in action. Going to see the team, that Shrewsbury team last year that went on to the Legion World Series. We'll see them here coming up this summer. We'll see North County, who actually plays here at Doyle Field, even though they're technically a Legion post that's based out of the Gardner area. And of course, all battling Leominster Legion with our partnership here at RFM with Leominster Legion Baseball. We're looking forward to that action ahead coming up this summer here on RFM. More baseball, Bill Thomas. Never a bad thing.
It's nothing like, midsummer baseball. I was involved in the Future Collegiate Baseball League, and, the players that, you don't have the responsibility of school and other pressures. You just want to play, and you put all your effort into performing as good as you can. You never know who's watching during those time periods. coaches, scouts got time off from their regular assignments, and you might show somebody something, whether it's somebody scouting for a school or you never know beyond. It's always a good time for baseball.
And it's going to be fun action to come here on RFM. American Legion Baseball, Leominster Legion. It's got its home right here this summer on RFM. To the top of the fifth we go. It's Hall, Michaud, and Connors, 7, 8, 9, due up in the order for the Lions. Actually, correction, that's my bad. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Ramsayer, Hall, and Michaud as the inning ended with a pickoff, and Ramsayer gets to come back to the plate here in the fifth. And he sees his first 2 pitches split, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he gets some bonus pitches in that fourth inning.
And this one, hit on the ground on the 1-1. Massa up with it at the waist. Cues and fires over to Richard at first, and it's a 6-3 putout.
Massa playing a nice solid shortstop over there tonight.
Shortstop number 10.
He has been tested. He's got 3 putouts in this one. Brings Matt Hall to the plate, 6, 7, 8 as we corrected in the order. Hall, the shortstop, caught looking on a freeze frame back in the second. And swings at the first pitch he sees. Savatelli, sure glove on that one at eye level. And on to first, 5-3 the putout for out number 2.
Infield doing the job.
Right fielder number 1, Nate Michaud.
Kate, talk about the cadence you've seen here from Leominster in this game. It's something we haven't necessarily seen in their previous game that we did back on opening day. There's a nice cadence to the way things are moving.
When you're not putting an exorbitant number of people on base, you're able to get into a rhythm. Not only is the pitcher able to get into a rhythm, your defense is able to get into a rhythm as well. And once you're firing on all cylinders, things just move a little bit more quickly.
The 0-1 breaking ball for strike and number 2. And quickly in the hole is Nate Michaud, who had the great catch to end the bottom of the 4th inning. But here in the top of the 5th, he's 0-2 after a single, and he was the first pickoff victim back in the 3rd in this contest. And now he lofts an 0-2 towards center field. Laura settles under it. And that will end the threat for Chelmsford in the 5th. 3 up and 3 down in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Through 4.5 here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. A break and we're back with more. It's high school baseball and it's right here on RFM. Bottom of the 5th we go. And Leominster's got 2, 3, 4 due up at the plate. And it's a 1 ball and 1 strike count on Gossin to start the 5th. Gossin, Massa, and Savatelli due up. And the 1-1 turns into a 1-2 on a called strike. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us here on RFM. A 1-2, ball miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Gray doing a good job here, dancing in and out of trouble. Todd and Kate just had that one inning, faced 8 batters, gave up 3 runs.
2-2 breaking ball. This one hit high, hop back up the middle. Gossin, it touched the glove of Gray, fielded on the play by Connors, and over to Ramsayer. That is a 1-4-3 putout for out number 1.
Shortstop number 7, Nick Massa.
Slowed it down just enough, redirected right to the second baseman.
And it's a great job by Connors there to keep an eye on it because, of course, when the pitcher hits it, the direction of the ball is going to change a little bit. First pitch swinging for Massa. He launches this one towards center field. And on the run, Engelhardt will reel that one in for out number 2. I'll tell you, you know what I like about this Leominster team that's come to play here today, Kate? They are not sitting back and waiting on the ball. First one they see, they're jumping all over it. If it's the first pitch of the at-bat, so be it.
Well, because Gray has been around the plate, now that you're in midseason form, unlike that opening game that we saw where people were continuously just trying to sit and see pitches, you don't see a lot of live pitching. Prior to the opening of your season. You only have 2 weeks. And so
1-0 breaking ball, and Savatelli launches this one to the moon. But it is shallow in left center. Over to make the catch is Engelhardt, and that ends the threat here in the 5th. 3 up and 3 down in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for the blue and white in the 5th. 3-0 Leominster over Chelmsford. Here at historic Doyle Field tonight here on RFM. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, wherever you want to be part of the action. Like, follow, and subscribe. When we go live with games and content, it finds you. It doesn't get much better than that. Action that finds you on your favorite social media device. More high school baseball as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Chelmsford badly needing to get on the board. 9 top, 9-1-2. Connors, Engelhardt, and Keogh 2 up at the plate in the 6th. More to come. High school baseball on RFM. To the top of the 6th we go here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us. Tyler Connors leads things off for the Lions in the top of the 6th inning. He was caught looking back in the 3rd in his lone at bat. The 0-1 hit on the ground to Savatelli, up with it and over to Richard, who does a good job to hold his form and make the play for out number 1.
Nice job by Savatelli there, cutting in front of the shortstop, taking the short route.
And one of the things I like about that veteran presence, you have him missed up an inning or so ago, and then you get multiple attempts.
I think his first
first pitch lifted, foul, and out of play, sends the fans
diving.
Yeah, I was going to say, scattering all
Soccer
over the
on
place.
the
I was trying
rail
to see where
trail?
it went. Yeah, it ended up on the
Extra
rail
fans
trail.
on the rail trail. But I think that first attempt when he bobbled that easy ground ball there, first or second inning, but he's really cleaned up the defense.
But and what I like
playing
is that
with a renewed confidence after that.
and it doesn't mess up the rest of your defensive effort.
Yep.
0-1 breaking ball cut on and missed by Engelhart. He's in the hole 0-2 with one out here in the top of the sixth. He lined out to center field to open the game, grounded out to Baez in his last at bat in the third. The 0-2 back up the middle again. Massa ranges to his left and threw it away. Around and heading on into second on the error. It's Engelhart. This one sails over second base, but the great backup there by Gossin out in left field is going to limit the damage.
Left fielder number 18, Jack.
It is an error charged to Massa that puts Engelhart on and allows him to advance to second base.
Gorgeous fielding on that. But
Did
then
everything
he came
right
up,
except setting his feet and squaring
and
himself.
it sailed.
You're right, Kate.
The E6 puts a runner in scoring position with one out here in the top of the sixth. Baez ready. First pitch breaking ball to Jack Keogh, and the count is 0-1. Keogh reached on an error and then was stranded back in the first, and then became the latest pickoff after singling in the fourth. 0-1 breaking ball. Strike two is the call. And the count is 0-2. Baez in front of Keogh, and tonight Baez has been on point. He has been ahead of many, if not every batter at some point in their at-bat.
Important out here. If you put this batter on, then you're in a position where you have the tying run coming up to the plate. And this game has not felt close since the early going here, but it really, if you have a couple of bad at-bats, that could become problematic.
Baez sneaks a peek, sends the 1-2 to Keogh, and Keogh inside outs this one off of first base and out of play. Try another 1-2 offering at the plate.
Well, you talk about the game, it doesn't feel like it's been close, but it's always one or two at-bats away from changing the game. Baez is, other than two errors, hasn't given up any other base runners here in the last 4 innings.
Baez sends another 1-2 to Keogh, who deposits that one into foul territory once again. If you're out to shag, now you've got a 2 to go find as you continue. Oh, nope, another one on. Dom Swain's Johnny on the spot. He's out to go find the second ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Breaking ball, Baez to Keogh, tapped on the ground. Charge Savatelli, throw on the run. In time at first. Play back across the diamond is not in time, so the fielder's choice goes 5-3, the putout of Keogh for out number 2. The throw allows Engelhart to advance to third.
I love that play, though, by Tony Savatelli, able to charge that ball nicely, not worrying about that runner behind him. He knows he's going to essentially be relinquishing third base. Not a problem. You have a 3-run lead. Get that out and do so beautifully. Not easy to charge that ball, set your feet, and throw when you've got footsteps behind you.
And more importantly, second out of the inning, Kate.
Correct.
So, yeah, good job by Tony over there, third base.
Brings the designated hitter to the plate. It's Matt Stewart, and the first pitch is off the plate for ball number 1.
And sometimes at the high school level, even at the varsity level, you'll see somebody kind of flinch or think about that. That has to be a decision that you make well in advance, and it becomes muscle memory.
The 1-0, the reach for Stewart, discards the bat in frustration, and Aquendo makes the catch on the fly ball at second base. A little noise for the Lions on a little bit of excitement from Leominster, but Leominster steadies down on the back of Baez, gets 2 straight outs, and gets out of the 6th. Through 5.5 here at Doyle Field, it's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. A break and we're back with more. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM. To the bottom of the 6th we go here on RFM. Gray still in this one, sends the first pitch to the plate, and it's lifted by Baez to left, and it is reeled in by Keogh for out number 1. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us. I'm in no trouble. I did nothing. I can't get in trouble for John Savatelli suggesting that maybe it's about time for another. This is a first pitch fouled off and a hot shot over to the dugout, and take that. Send it back from whence it came.
You don't usually see that, the ball coming out of the dugout like that.
Reese Laura made the bare hand and fired it back to the pitcher.
Can I just say that I would not recommend that?
No, I wouldn't either.
He's lucky Gray was looking when he flung it back there.
Well, how about he was lucky that he made the clean catch. Here's the 1-1, breaking ball for strike 2, and the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I don't know what I did, but I finally found the right exposure. Don't know what I did.
1-2 breaking ball, dug out of the dirt by Blaine. Count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes, and for you folks,
that's me to be able to
behind the curtain speak for you can see better. Here's the 2-2 backhand breaking ball, count 3-2.
Don't ask me what I did. I cannot recreate it.
Godin single and a run scored, got an RBI back in the 2nd as well, and then grounded out to the pitcher back in the 4th. 3-2 pitch, and he's heading to the dugout. Second strikeout of the day for Gray. This one the first with a backward K.
Center fielder, number 13, Reese.
And that brings Reese Laura to the plate, who has collected 2 walks and has been stranded. The last time in the 4th, he got cut down on the front end of a double play in the 2nd. And now a first pitch ball, and he is ahead once again in this one. He also collected a great foul ball that saved his friends. Here's the 1-0. And this, a strike on the outer half. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Gray working quickly. 1-1. Fastball, strike 2. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know what's really impressed me thus far? And we've had a great pitching duel here, despite the 3-0 lead for Leominster. It's the confidence as Laura fouls this one to the backstop, try another 3-2. You wouldn't really be able to tell, if you look out there at both pitchers in both half innings, who's got the 3-0 lead. Gray, despite being in the hole 3-0, at this point, he's throwing every bit as confidently, bringing his pitches to the plate, continuing to play his game, and giving his team a chance. And that's what Coach Lou DeStasi said. The veteran pitching staff gives his team a chance in every ball game.
Yeah, and he's only struggled really in 1 inning, faced 8 batters when he gave up those 3 runs, but he's come back nicely, bared down, and nice 1-2-3 inning there.
Indeed, and that one, a backward K caught looking for Reese Laura to end the Leominster threat in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 6 in the bag here at Doyle Field. Leominster, the 3-0 lead over Chelmsford. You look at the line score. Chelmsford at zeros from 1 to 6. Leominster, the 3 spot in the 2nd, and a whole lot more zeros other than that. But the important number is 3. Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. To the last inning of regulation, we go to the top of the 7th inning. Middle of the order due up for the Lions here for 5 and 6. Blaine, Clark, and Ramsayer due up here in the top of the 7th. A quick break, and we're back with more. It's high school baseball, and it's right here on RFM. Top of the 7th, here we go. Baez looking for a complete game victory. And he's got Jack Blaine, the catcher, at the plate, followed by Ryan Clark and Finn Ramsayer. And it is a 1-1 count to Blaine here in the top of the 7th inning. Blaine grounded out to short and caught looking in the 4th. 1-1, strike 2 is the call. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Curveball continues to freeze the Chelmsford batters.
Indeed it does. Baez used all the pitches tonight. Here's the 1-2 fastball. Retires. Blaine looking.
And that's because of that curveball, sneaking that fastball by him.
Casey knew that as soon as it left Angel's hand.
Ryan Clark.
And Blaine knew it too. No argument. He watched it go right into Casey's mitt and walked to the dugout. Second caught looking of the day. Ryan Clark comes to the plate. Clark foul tip into the mitt of Casey. Count is 0-1. 5 strikeouts tonight for Baez. Sends the 0-1 down and away. Count 1 ball.
And you know what else I've
And
been
1 strike.
impressed about Todd? I don't think he's thrown a pitch to the backstop tonight. You know, good job, Casey, back there. But he's been around the plate, not bouncing that curveball, keeping the Chelmsford Lion hitters on their toes.
Called strike 2. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. And come on and missed, and Clark heads to the dugout with strikeout number 6 for Baez. Baez is 1 out away from a complete game effort.
Looks like he's warmed up now.
Indeed.
I think he's ready to go.
Indeed.
He's settled in.
And I tell you, he's been a model of consistency. You know, when you look at inning to inning, let him finish this up and give us something to comment about in the postgame, but he's just been consistent right from start to finish.
Finn Ramsayer comes to the plate. It's a first pitch called strike. Bill Thomas, he has been the very model of a model major general. There you go.
Modern.
That too. Hey, it was pretty good for a reference like that. Comes the 0-1. Fastball. Strike on the outside.
Can't compliment yourself unless you get it right.
Count 0-2 to Ramsayer. Grounded out to second. Grounded out to short. Here comes the 0-2. Baez missed. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And boy, would he like to wrap this one up for a complete game effort by striking out the side to conclude this one here in the 7th. 1-2 pitch from Baez. Breaking ball, and Ramsayer thought about it. Stead lays off for a ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on the top of the 7th inning with 2
I
outs.
think if Baez is even in the neighborhood, Ramsayer's going to go after that.
And here he comes. Baez, 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Caught on and missed. He struck out the side.
That's the way to finish him.
Final score, your Leominster Blue Devils 3.
It's a
Chelmsford
complete
0.
game effort with authority for Angel Baez. And he concludes the shutout and a complete game effort by striking out the Lions' side in the top of the 7th. Final score here from historic Doyle Field. It's Leominster 3 and Chelmsford nothing. The Blue Devils are 10-1 in 2023. Chelmsford Lions fall to 9-4, and it is Chelmsford's first loss in regulation in 2023.
What a dominant effort by Angel Baez once he settled down. You know, struggled a little bit the first 2 innings. I had him 27 pitches, Todd, after the first 2 innings, but really came on strong in the 3rd inning on. And, you know, I started to comment there in the middle of that 7th inning about how consistent he has been through the game. But you look at the scorebook, he has 3 4-batter innings and 4 3-batter innings. You can't be much more consistent at that, just pouring those strikes in there, keeping the Lions swinging, keeping them off balance, and keeping them off base, most importantly.
Indeed, indeed. High school baseball here on RFM, and what a night it has been. A 3-0 victory for Leominster. And Angel Baez, the hero of this one, a complete game effort on the mound, concluded with the shutout and striking out the side in the top of the 7th inning. We're going to step aside. We're going to recap it all. A tidy, by the way, we started 23 minutes late, a tidy 1 hour and 23-minute ball game on that shutout as well for Baez and Leominster. tonight.
So that brings our average down to 4.5 hours.
I was going to say, after a 5-hour affair on opening day. We're going to continue on. We're going to recap it all, sum it all up for you here when we come back. It's high school baseball right here on RFM. More to come. Stay with us. Just because the action ends does not mean the fun ends here at historic Doyle Field. We welcome you to our Diamond Side broadcast position. Leominster a winner tonight, 3-0, the final score in this one. And we're joined here on our post-game extra by Leominster's pitcher of the night, the game winner, Angel Baez. And Angel, this is the type of stat you like to hear as a pitcher. It's a complete game effort. It's a shutout, and you did it by striking out the side in the 7th. Talk about how you felt about your command of your pitches tonight.
I felt like I was controlling the off-speed very well. My slider was great. My curveball was great. Fastball velo wasn't there, but off-speed helped.
Sure, no doubt about it. When you're having this kind of a night where it seems like you're either ahead of or getting ahead of many batters, it leaves a lot of options for you when you're trying to decide what's going to come next.
Yeah. Owen behind the plate was giving a lot off the plate. I just kept pounding the zone, try to hit that spot every time, and he gave it to me.
Let's talk about where this team is at this point in time. From where you were back on opening day, took 12 innings in order to get yourselves to your first win. Guys have been on a tremendous tear through Central Mass and the teams that you've played all across Massachusetts, and now you find yourself here at 10-1 at about the halfway point of the season. This team is clearly on a mission. You've only been thwarted by the weather, maybe more than anything else last week, losing to Algonquin.
Yeah, we're a great hitting team. Today we found the barrel. We were talking about it earlier practice today. We have to get our swagger back. And I feel like we had a laser show. Even if they were outs, they were good hits. No, I don't think we struck out. And, yeah, it was great.
Getting a little love from Bocelli himself, Tony Bocelli Savatelli, here post-game in this one. Angel Baez, kind enough to join us here, Diamond Side. As you look ahead to the days and weeks ahead, what's the key, Angel, for this team as you guys move forward over the next few games? And obviously, with the Samata tournament just a few weeks away.
Just to play with confidence. We know we're a good team. We just have to play like that. And keep swinging the way we've been swinging, keep pitching the way we've been pitching, and we're going to make it far.
Indeed, you may. You've got that opportunity ahead. Angel Baez, winning pitcher today for Leominster. Final score 3-0 in this one. Angel, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Always great to hear from the student athletes before this one, and we're going to just trade one out for the other. We're going to replace Angel Baez, and we're going to bring Leominster head coach Rich Barnaby right on in after this one. And Coach, you were standing there. You got a chance to hear Baez's thoughts sort of on how this one went, and you certainly, can't complain about a complete game effort, can't complain about a shutout, and you can't complain about striking out the side to conclude a ball game. Total complete game effort and total command from your pitcher today.
Yeah, usually I like to complain a lot too, but tonight I can't. Like, the offense was great. That's a Division I pitcher going to Stonehill that we faced, and even when we didn't get hits, we put some good swings on the ball. So I think going forward, if we're going to make a state title run, like, we know we can hit the best pitching in the state. That gives us a lot of confidence. It also gives us a lot of confidence. Like, we've seen ace after ace after ace this year. So when we run into mid-80s, we're like, oh, all right, mid-80s again.
Sure.
Like, we did a great job. But it starts with the guy on the mound. It was an absolute masterpiece. He picks off a couple of runners to help himself out. We kicked some balls behind him, and he just grabbed the ball and got the next out. Like, he was never rattled. I mean, it seems like Angel's been on our team for about 12 years at this point, because he was out there as a freshman. So it's crazy, like a junior on the mound against a big-time team like Chelmsford having that much composure. But that's who he is. I'm glad we could give him some support, because last time out against Algonquin, he pitched a gem in the pouring rain, and we didn't give him any runs. So it was good that we had his back tonight. We threw that knockout punch early. And once you get 3 runs, that feels like a bigger lead with Angel Baez on the mound. It's 3 runs, but it kind of feels like 8 or 9 runs when you got a guy like that with the ball. So, in complete effort. I mean, we hit the ball hard all day against, one of the best pitchers in the state. He was first team All-State preseason, a kid going Division I. So, and we made him look like just another high school pitcher. So great effort all around. And we're excited to get back to work tomorrow with Wachusett coming to town. Wachusett hasn't lost since we beat them on April 14th, so they've won like 8 or 9 in a row, so that'll be a good game.
And they're looking for that opportunity once again coming up on Wednesday. First of all, that's a kick on my part. I forgot to ask Baez about those 2 pickoffs, because I'll tell you, 1 in a game is special, 2 seemingly incredible. What is the key to that? How is he so effective? The move to first was, a blink. How he got the one at second, I'll never know, because Aquendo had to make a catch going, off his shoe tops to get the tag in place.
Yeah, we've picked off over 10 runners this year, and I think we're really aggressive with our pickoffs, and we practice them every single day. And Angel's the best at it because he's a middle infielder, so he's naturally got quick feet. He's naturally got a quick release. So his pickoff moves to first and second are not the same as his pitching. His pitching, he's a little more fluid, a little longer, so he can get more velocity. But he's lightning quick middle infielder. So I think that him and Alex, 3 games in a row have picked a guy off second base on that call, and it's their call. Like, to their credit, like, Alex gives him the sign, and Angel just gets it to him, and we've gotten 3 guys in a row off that. So we've picked off over 10 runners this year, which gives us confidence. And also on the other side, like, teams know we've picked off over 10 runners this year, so they're not taking leads. And when you're not taking leads, they're not getting extra bases, which makes it easier for us to win games, because it becomes really difficult to score when you can't steal bases, you can't put bunts down, and you got Angel Baez on the mound. It gets really tough to score runs at that point.
Talk about the maturation process. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a gap between when we've been here from opening day to now. What's been the key to this maturation of your team to this point in the season?
They're good at staying present. We talk a lot about, like, the only thing we can affect is right now. So, like, the one thing we can affect right now is let's just get better at practice tomorrow. We weren't thinking about Wachusett today. Our entire focus this whole weekend was about Chelmsford. And I think tomorrow, like, we're going to put a game plan in against Wachusett. We're going to go over some things, and we're just going to get better. I think we're going to build off what we did. So if you can just keep building a little bit at a time and getting better and staying in that moment, especially in a game like baseball where there's so much think time in between pitches, it's easy to, like, worry about what's on the road, but don't worry about the last pitch. Don't worry about the next inning. Just worry about, like, executing this next pitch. Worry about getting better in practice. So this team has a really good mindset of staying present in the moment.
About 12 to 15 hours of staying in this moment is well-deserved, Coach. Congratulations. Great victory here tonight.
All right, thank you for the coverage, guys. I appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. Good to see you. Leominster head coach Rich Barnaby after a 3-0 win here at Doyle Field tonight. We're going to step aside. More to come. Post-game extra continues. You stick and stay with us, Diamond Side, here on RFM. A final stat recap when we return. Stay with us. High school baseball right here on RFM. Post-game extra continues here on RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Baseball action from the Diamond side here. Todd Robbins, Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas along with us as well. And it's a 3-0 Leominster win in this one on a Monday night that got a little chilly, Kate, but gotta say, Leominster stayed red hot from the start. You heard Coach Barnaby say it in his interview, all about staying focused and staying present, and that was something I agree with him. That maybe in that first game you didn't quite see that from Leominster, but that is certainly where they are now.
Well, that's the beauty of being able to play a close to 20-game regular season. You have that opportunity to see your players, see your roster mature. When we saw Leominster in week 1, the bats were cold.
Sure.
First time seeing oppositional live pitching other than in a scrimmage situation, which is a whole different ball of wax when you're dealing with that. Leominster, we saw, had their bat on their shoulder